Hi, Bill of the North here, and another quick video about these MOLLE packs. I've really taken a liking to them. I think they look good. They're nice and roomy, and they're very comfortable. Even when they're heavy, they're very comfortable for me. The only negative I have about them is the original UCP camouflage pattern, which is ugly. And it only matches part of the time around here when there's snow on the ground, which is sometimes only a month or two out of the year. So I just decided to dye all of the ones that I have, and I happen to like green, so most of them are different shades of green, and I'll show you what I've done. So this bad boy here, the first one I got, it's apple green, and that's kind of a happy green. You know, it's not really a tactical green color. It's the kind of pack, the kind of color pack you might wear with your civilian friends just so they don't think you're a walking surplus store. But it blends well enough in most greenish environments, and if you needed to, you could muddy it up some and darken that. I should say that I ended up getting 3 complete sets of frames and suspensions for these. I have a 4th rucksack. I'll just call that a spare. The main reason that I've got 3 complete sets is I decided to dye them for use in various seasons, you know, spring, summer, winter, and fall. And the bags are a real hassle. The rucksacks are a real hassle to change out. So just getting 3 complete sets, as inexpensive as they are, just seemed to make sense. So that's what that's about. This bad boy here is kind of my version of an olive drab. I had some brown, dark brown and dark green dye that I used. I think most of the brown dye was used up by the time I got to this pack. So it's a little greenish, a little hunter green kind of looking, but it works pretty good for this environment. Now when I did the dye job on the packs, I heated the water to 190 degrees, added some vinegar that allows the dye to get into the synthetic fabric better, and then I added the dyes, and I soaked the packs between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on how dark I wanted it to get. I let the packs get a little bit darker than I thought they needed to be, because I know some of that's going to wash out and fade over time. It's that simple. If you saw my winter videos where I was trying to make the original camouflage work in winter, this is the one, and it just didn't look good. Aside from that, it didn't work well, so I dyed this a brown tan, and I tried not to over dye it. The cool thing about dye is that you can kind of regulate the intensity and the length of time and the color saturation. So as you can see, the underlying original pattern is showing through, but I was still able to change the color a little bit. This is the suspension system. The straps take the dye pretty well. Sometimes I've noticed the hip belt, the waist belt, does not take the dye as well, but it will take it. I think that depends a lot on the individual waist belt. This one is the brown pack, and as you can see, everything took the dye pretty well, the brown tan pack. So this one will be for use in fall and winter, and if I ever get to move out to a desert area, which I hope I can do someday, this will be, I think, a good pack for that. The problem with these packs is they don't have enough outer pockets, so you can get these sustainment pouches or these marine hydration pouches, and I have been experimenting with these ILBE, these marine ILBE radio pouches, and they attach reasonably well to the pail's straps. These two I've got attached to the back lower part of the lid. We'll see if that pulls the weight back too far. This one I've actually attached to the top of the lid, and it does not interfere with my hat, which is a very important consideration. And it's on top, so that will kind of line up the weight better with the rest of the pack rather than pulling it back. And this attached partly to the frame and partly to the top of the lid there. One thing I should point out is the top of this does not secure very well. There's basically just this single strap that goes over, and there's some extra straps on it that I don't know what they do, but I think you could put a snap on that and just get some additional security there. Also, on the bottom, they're open on the sides on the bottom, and I don't know if that was for ventilation or to let water out with the original use, but I'm using it for my wet gear. That is my poncho, my rain pants, my rain shell, and anything like that. So it's not too heavy, but it's right on the top and right outside the pack where I can get to it quickly, and I don't have to open up the pack and risk getting everything wet. Well, I don't really like running around in the woods looking like a surplus store, but when the clothing and the gear cost 10 or 20% of its civilian counterparts, when the boots and clothing have standardized sizes that you know will fit, and the gear is rugged and heavy duty and will last for decades, how it looks is really not a good reason not to buy it and use it. You can always change the looks. You can dye the gear different colors, or you can make minor changes to it to make it stylish, but I don't go out into the woods to be stylish either. Have a good day.